Hey guys, this is Miss Esposito. Today we're going to order rational numbers. We're going to take fractions and turn them into decimals and then put them in order. So this should be, it should say page 7 at the bottom of your notes page. All right, let's start. A fraction bar is one way to represent division. This can be used to convert a fraction to a decimal by dividing the numerator, that's the number on the top, by the denominator. Example, A divided by B is going to equal, well, I'm not even going to write that. You would put in your calculator A divide by B. Or you could do A divided by B if it were a problem. Or 3/4 equals 3 divided by 4, which is going to look like 3 divided by 4. Or in your calculator, you put the top number in first, and then you hit the divide sign, and then you hit 4. So 3 divided by 4 is going to equal 0.75. Right now we're going to convert the following fractions to decimals by dividing. And we're just going to do these using a calculator. So make sure you have a calculator handy. So number 1, we're going to do, let me make sure you can see this. We're going to do 1 divided by 2. So you put the 1 in first, then hit the divide sign and hit 2, and you would get 0.5. Number 2, you would do 9 divided by 10, and you would get 0.9 for that. 0.9. I'm going to let you guys do numbers 3 and 4. All right, let's check. Number 3, you should have 2 divided by 3, which would be 0.666. And this is a repeating decimal. So you can put this line over the top that shows that 6 repeats. I would probably just put 1 6 and put my line on top, but any of those answers would be correct. That just shows that the 6 repeats. All right. 7 divided by 4, you would have gotten 1.75. All right, let's look at the next table. We have the fraction 3/5, and I want to write it with a divide sign in the middle. So this is going to be 3 divided by 5. And the 3 goes under the hat, and then the 5 goes on the outside. 3 divided by 5. Okay, and so if we're going to write this, we would write 3 divided by 5. Let's do the next one. It has 5 divided by 4 in this column. So if I were to write that as a fraction, the 5 would go on top and the 4 would go on the bottom. 5 divided by 4. The 5 goes inside the hat, and then we put our divide sign, and the 4 goes on the outside. Then we have to write the verbal description, which is 5 divided by 4. All right, I'm going to let you guys do the next 2, and then we'll come back and check them. All right, for this one, we should have had 1 on top over 3, 1 divided by 3. This you would say 1 divided by 3. And the verbal description would be 1 divided by 3. All right, on the last one, it says 3 divided by 2. So you should have 3 divided by 2, 3 over 2, 3 divided by 2. 3 divided by 2. There. Okay, fractions can be placed on a number line or converted to a decimal to help order them. Place the following fractions on the number line below. So this is going to be easier if we convert them to a decimal. But if you wanted to, you could try to do this with fractions if you feel more comfortable doing that. All right, so let's convert these all to decimals and then we'll be able to place them on a number line. The first one is 2 over 5, so that would be 2 divided by 5. And so that's 0.4. B is 3 and 1/4. So on this one, you just take 1 divided by 4. And so the 1/4 becomes 0.25. And so you just have 3.25. If you convert C to a decimal, you just take 1 divided by 10 first, and that gives you 0.1. And so you would write that as 2.1. Now I'm going to let you guys convert D and E to decimals. All right, for D, you should have gotten 2.6. And for E, you should have gotten, negative 2.75. And I just realized I made a small mistake over here on B. I didn't put my negative sign there. Right, so you're not going to be able to place these on a number line in your Edpuzzle, but I'm going to do this with you real quick to make sure that you can do these. So we want to look for 0.4, which is going to be somewhere between 0 and 0.5. 0.5 is half. So it's going to be about right here. That's where I would put my A. Then I would take 3.25 and look for that on the negative side, okay? So we know it's going to be between -3 and -4. It's not quite going to be to 3.5 or 3, not quite going to be to -3.5. It's going to be right in the middle there. You guys go ahead and place C, D, and E on your notes, and then you can check them. Pause the video. All right, let's place C, D, and E. So for C, you have 2.1. So that's going to be a little bit further than 2. I'm going to put that right here. D is 2.6. So it's going to be between 2 and 3, and slightly more than halfway, slightly more than 2.5. So that would be right here. For E, you had negative 2.75. So you're going to come over to the negative side of your number line, and you know it's going to be between -2 and -3, but it needs to be closer to -3. So it's going to be right here. Okay, that's it for this Edpuzzle. I will see you guys in class.